Hey y'all, it's your girl Key.
What's up, y'all? This is Bree. We are back in the room. How y'all doing? What's been up?
Yeah, I know,
Huh?
right? I hope it's been a great few weeks for everybody.
Okay. Are you feeling better?
I do. I feel better than I did. I don't feel like I'm dying anymore. Just a little bit of
That is definitely a
congestion.
plus.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
feel good enough to probably go outside and get some fresh air
Oh,
and some
okay. Then you
vitamin
feeling
D.
pretty
Not
good
to be around people, but just to get outside. The sun is shining today, so it's a plus.
then. Okay. I'm here for it. I'm glad you're feeling better. Nobody likes to be sick.
No, how's your week been?
Um, it's been cool. I visited the parents last weekend, and I am now back in Texas. And yeah, it
Y'all,
has
her
been.
daddy was so sick of her stuff.
Look, y'all, I called Key on no, I was on FaceTime with Key while I was at home. And I don't even know what my dad did or if I called him into the conversation, but he flat out was like, he is not excited about me being home. And she thought that was hilarious.
I told him to stop her. I told you to stop harassing him, and he said, "She know, she know what I need." So, yes,
Yeah, that man loves me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure he misses me. He had a whole week of my shenanigans. Okay.
well, good. I'm
It's good.
glad you got to visit the parentals because that's always a plus.
Yeah,
Always.
it was nice. It was nice to be home away from the usual background. But I was ready to come back and be in my own space. You know how that is.
You crack me up every time you go somewhere. I feel like you need to stop going places more than 3 days because every time you go, you're like, I'm ready to come back. Maybe three is your max,
You
depending
might be
on the
right.
activities and if you're like somewhere more, like resort like, maybe you might like more days. But I don't know about this.
That's a good point.
We
That's a
should
good point. I
investigate
didn't
it.
think about that.
But I did something last night,
Okay.
other than harass you. But I
Right. Right. And yeah.
I listened to the last two episodes.
I did that on my ride back.
They were cracking. It was very funny. Um, which made me think about today's episode. I was like, we're supposed to still be doing relationships and building up,
Hmm.
right? So I know we talked about last week. We talked about black women and black men just being able to converse, right? Like
Hmm.
initially, and so before that, we just talked a little bit about most people aren't the partner that they want yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But today, I was thinking, I know we have guests next time. So I was like, this time maybe we should look at relationships from friendships
Okay.
instead of just dating, right?
Yay.
Which we touched on a little bit though, right? Because we did talk about like accountability and like holding your friends
Oh yeah.
accountable. But just something I was thinking about after I was listening to that episode and just because when you're sick, you don't have anything to do. Um, literally. So my eyes was watering. I couldn't see too much of anything, so I just was sleeping.
Oh, that's terrible.
But I was thinking, maybe we would be better. Maybe that's not the word. Maybe relationships and dating could be better if people also knew how to have healthier friendships. Because the basis
Oh.
of a lot of relationships in general still should be the same. Like, like
Hmm.
in your friendships and stuff. And so I always wonder, like, so for instance, have you ever dated somebody who didn't have any friends or who had very like minimum? And when I say friends, I mean real friends, not oh I talk to Jerry at work when I'm at work. I mean friends that they can be like, oh yeah, didn't even cross my mind. Um,
That's a nice name.
it is. Um, but like real friends, you know what I'm saying? Like you meet somebody and
Yeah.
they've been friends at least maybe since high school or something, like actual friends. Have you ever dated somebody that didn't have friends?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was awful.
What
Or even
like
just talking to them is awful. That's terrible. Why did I say it like that?
I don't know, but I'm here for it. Please
It's
tell
so
me
early in the
more.
morning. It's really not, but I just feel very unfiltered, and I don't know why.
I like it. It's fine. Tell me more about it was horrible talking.
Because it's like, that's going to sound so bad. But like, you know how you, or I'm going to start using I statements, right? I don't know what's happening. I like, um, I want people to pay attention, right? I like to know that you're interested, invested, whatever. Um, but when dating someone who doesn't have a lot of friends, it's like I am the only interest. I'm getting all of the attention. I think that becomes overbearing, maybe, or suffocating, overwhelming. It builds up these resentful obligations almost. Like, I know you ain't got no friends, so anytime you want to do something, I got to say yes.
Not I have to say yes. You ain't got no friends. I guess I gotta go. Like that, essentially.
Right. Yeah, like I am your outlet for entertainment or for being outgoing. And that's shitty. Like, who wants to do that?
So do you feel like okay? So on that end, like you feel obligated to fulfill that void, right? Even if they haven't said it, right?
That's a nice way to say it. Hmm.
But do you feel like you've ever encountered issues from them not understanding you do have friends?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Like, if I say, hey, I'm going to go. Oh, I mean, it's a very valid example. Like, when we were planning dates and stuff, like, hey, I'm going to go have dinner with Key, or hey, we're going to the metaphysical shop. Like, get an attitude. All of a sudden, I might be getting a silent treatment. And it's like, why is it all that? You knew I had friends. People love me. They want to hang out.
You said don't be jealous.
Why is it? Why is it? A, why is it a problem? So yeah, yeah. I think when you don't share that, or when your partner doesn't have healthy friendships outside of your relationship, I think that can become problematic.
I agree with that. I agree with everything you said. Like for real. Like I've talked to people who don't have friends, and I've like been in a relationship with a person who mm, I'm trying not to sound like a jerk. So had friends, but none of the friends were friends that were actually outside of family. So like
Oh,
their friend
yeah,
was
that
their
too.
brother or their cousin, right? And
Hmm.
so not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like technically I don't know if I still would count that as friends or that's just you hanging out with family. So
Right.
but in that capacity, from that angle, what I realized was unlike the person who has no friends and you become obligated, what I found was the boundaries with family just didn't exist. Does that make sense? It's like there's no boundary. And so
Mm.
it makes things weird and awkward.
Hmm.
And yep, I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story in a second
Oh, okay.
in regards to just how awkward it was to me regarding that. And it wasn't even like just cousins and brothers, but even their relationship with like their mother, like was just weird to me. I'm very specific with to me because I don't want anybody to be offended. I might tell you the story and they be like, I do that with my mom all the time. I'm like, that's your business. That's your business. But I think that because of that and no friendships, it just was weird to me. But the other piece of it also is that I feel like me having friends has allowed me to have better boundaries in dating because I minimally you have to meet my friendship standard to date me.
Ooh, say more about that.
So
My friendship standard.
I love my friends. Like I can't even explain how I feel about my friends, but like I would do anything for them. And so like, but my friends treat me wonderfully. Like, they check on me. If I needed anything, even though I'm not the type of person to really ask, they gonna show up. They gonna volunteer. Um, they when I'm sick, they're looking for me. They send stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a really good standard. So even like Bree, like even little things like you just knowing I like to read and then randomly sending me a book. You know, so it's kind of like when I'm dating somebody, I have an idea of how I prefer to be treated, and I feel like it comes from my friendships because if you can't treat me as good as my friends, I don't see why I'm talking to you. I guess then the question is, so you know how people say no new friends, and people used to say that all the time, and I just think that was the dumbest thing ever, right? Because it's dumb. Um, do you feel like this is me picking on you? Not like picking on you
It's
for real, but
fine.
like,
It's
do you
fine.
feel like you want? Do you feel like you genuinely want new friends, or you feel like you're
Right.
supposed to? No, because it sounds worse than what I'm trying to say. Like, do you feel
Yeah.
like, oh, I live here, I need some Texas friends? Or do you feel like I want some? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I should have some because I'm
Mm.
here and I want to have friends and I want to have a
Oh
community here.
no.
Or do you feel like you legit like
I I
want?
legit I legit want to meet new people. I legit want to grow my community. I legit want yeah, I think I legit want more relationships, friendships, whatever with women with like-mindedness, right? So there's this spiritual shop that I'm going to a class later on today. And and I always get excited when I see another black woman in the class, right? And a few weekends ago, we went to one event, and then we both showed up at the next one, and we were equally as excited to see the other person there again.
Hmm.
We could have exchanged numbers and all that. She had just moved here from another state, but she said she was married. She said she had 3 kids, and in my mind, oh, so that's another part of friendship, right?
Hmm.
This is going to put me back in the same box that I'm already in with some of my close friends, which is cool, right? Because people are in different stages in life, but you're married. I was. You got kids. I ain't got none. We're living a different life. So then it's like that, the type of friendships I want. Like, hey girl, can we go get dinner? And you have nobody else to check in with. That's what I want.
Brie, if you just want me to move to Houston, just say that, girl.
I've been told you that.
I
Okay.
got license in Houston. I mean, Texas. Give me some credit.
Come on, sis. Like
As
that's what
soon
I
as I move
want.
there, she gonna leave. I ain't fooling with
No,
her.
I'm not. I'm not going nowhere. And then it's like, hey, let's drive to Dallas this weekend. Okay, girl, let me pack my bag. Like, those are the type of friendships I want. And when I meet people and they share these little bitty things about them, I'm like, okay, nah, that ain't it. And then I feel bad. And it's like,
Got you. So it's hard to find somebody in your that's on the
right,
same stage of life as you.
right. Like, you ain't got to have been married and now divorced and you out here living your best life. Like, you ain't got to be that, but close to it. Maybe without the divorce and the marriage and the kids.
A little more freedom. Just a
Yeah.
little more freedom because certain titles make things a little more restrictive, or you have to plan more. You can't have impulsive ass moments.
Land. You know what? That is a nice way to say it because I think the way I said it was kind of shitty, but I don't care because that's my truth this morning on Sunday at 9:30.
You better have your truth, but no, that makes perfect sense. And so it's kind of like um, creating friendships. I think sometimes also people forget to nurture them. And what I mean by that, like prime example, I have okay, so now I have to kind of not say I lied earlier because I didn't. I have a few friends that also moved back home in the last 2 to 3 years, right?
Okay.
But the reality is, we've been apart since we were 17. I'm in my 30s. So our basis of our
Ooh.
friendship has shifted to always being in different states, different parts of the world. They're in DC, I'm in Tennessee. I'm in New York, you know what I'm saying? Like different places. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I have also learned is that it is sometimes hard to switch that narrative. Like I forget they're here, but again, they have children and they're married too. So I throw that
Mm-hmm.
part in there. But sometimes you forget. I mean, we went over a decade where the basis of our friendship is catching up every few months because we live in different places. And so I think when you meet new people, creating those new friendships, it's not as you have to be super intentional. Let me say that because they're not solidified in your life enough to always remember that, right? Because how many times have you met somebody, you're like, we should hang out, and y'all ain't never hung out.
Never ever. My neighbor down the hall, she's like, "Girl, we should go get drinks." Okay, exchange numbers and everything.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I've been trying to figure out, does that come from, do I really not want to hang out with you? Which I don't think that's it. Or does it come from like, you didn't make an impression enough for me to remember? Or, and I don't mean in a mean way, or am I waiting for you to make the move and I'm just caught up in life because you're not a normal part of my
Yeah,
daily thing, right? Like, I don't talk
yeah.
to you every day, but I don't go weeks without talking to you either,
Right,
right? And it ain't just from
right.
recording. It's like, nah, what you doing over there? We need a FaceTime date. What's wrong with you? So versus somebody you just met, it's like gone in the wind.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
being ill intentioned though, right? But okay. But I do feel like friendships are important. So what do you think are like the basis of a good friendship? So I'll say
Ooh.
one, I think is freedom to be myself in a
Hmm.
capacity that I don't think you can always do in every relationship that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say something along those lines. Like I have a really close friendships because I don't want to isolate any people. And I, we talk about spirituality and certain things that we invest and dabble in, and everybody is not open to that. And because that is a really strong part of who I am, sometimes I have to close that off to exist in a friendship.
How does that feel? Being honest,
And
like,
it's not, yeah, it's not it's weird. It's weird. Like, it would be certain conversations that we're having, and I would be coming from that perspective or this thing that I know works, that I know you can do and feel better and heal and all that, but you ain't there. You're not trying to be there, and that's okay, right? That's okay. When you met me, I wasn't either. When we started the friendship, I wasn't where I am today either. But there's that part of me that I can't share or that I have before and it wasn't received well. Yeah. So when you say being able to show up and exist as all of me, I have some close friendships in which I can't do that. And that's another part of like meeting new people. Like can I bring that part of Bree too?
I like that. And that's interesting because I guess with I've not experienced it. And I know it exists. That's not what I mean, but like
Mhm.
all the
Mhm.
friends I have, like people I really consider friends, like it's no they know. And some of them
Yeah.
don't participate, but they're fine with me. You know what I'm saying? And some of them is then it'd be like, well, show me how. You know, then you got the friends that's more curious, but I will say, I'm you saying that makes me even more grateful because most of the people in my life they don't. Now, if you start talking about family, that's a different episode right there.
Girl. Right. We'll save
That's
it.
yeah, right. That's some family. I'm probably a devil worshiper or something. People just make up stuff all the time. But in my friendships, okay, but we can agree that that showing up
Yeah.
fully as yourself is a part of wanting a friendship. Um, I think the other thing is I don't like, and this is my personal capacity. I don't like yes people. And then, of course, I like yes, like girl, I'm going to venture. Yeah, like yes, I want everybody to say yes to my
Yes.
adventure all the time.
Yes.
But if I'm wrong, I expect you to just tell me
Okay.
because you're my
Yeah.
friend, right? And so I guess honesty is really important to me in friendships. And I leave the word brutal off because I don't believe in brutal honesty. I think that is just another way to say I'm rude. And so I believe in just honesty from love.
Aw. I
Yes.
like that. And sometimes it hurts a little bit.
And that's okay.
But that's
But it's
okay.
still from love. It's not an ill intention. It's not to make me feel bad. So I think being able to be my authentic self and having people that are honest with me has helped me become a better person in trying to date people because I need to show up as honest. I need to be able to be honest with you and I need to be able to be my full self with you. And I think as soon as I feel a wall where I can't, I retreat fully. I can own that. Like I don't necessarily cut you off, but I have oh yeah, we this ain't nothing. Like this will never be more than whatever it is in this moment because if I can't let that wall down with you, there's no point.